Drivers, to your cars.
Welcome, Busch Bonanza fans, to Talladega Super Speedway. I don't know why I sound so excited. This is the first race back for the Bonanza series after the tragic passing following 2 weeks ago at Martinsville of Joe Mersdorf, killed in a tragic traffic accident, according to Tony Pizarro. A number of drivers racing with heavy hearts. as the field rolls off. Philip Parker is your pole sitter. Alongside him is Tommy Davis. Then we've got Mark Guthrie and Ken Joint, Aaron Cummings, Dave Daniels, Adam Beresford, Patrick Calgo, Raybo Womack, and Mike Carroll. Yep. Kevin Corbett and Jared Mogard, Frank Womack, and Mark Huron, Doug Spark, and Bernard Person. Stefan Harding will be starting alongside David Courtney. Jackson Batcher to the inside of Brandon Cruz Monseves, JT Armstrong, and David Baldinger. Roger Whitman alongside Ron Stout. Ronaldo Scott and Brian Lowe. Adriano Forte and Scott Drake. Stephen Davis alongside PDJ Zeller. Jim Fitzmaurice and Nigel Ramaswamy. Tony Tonto Jr. starts alongside Ramondre Diggs. Jim Gunk alongside Jack Painter, which would give me a good camera angle here. Jogu Abushi alongside Stephen Lowe. Dwight York and Oscar Ortiz. Lawrence Van Buren alongside Molitor Hill, and at the back of the field we have Larry Sheldrick. That is your starting grid. 250 miles. Pace car comes in, and we are ready for some racing from the biggest super speedway. And we are green, green, green. Field coming up to speed on the first lap. Coming down the backstretch for the first time, speed building. Everybody wants to lead a lap. This is a place where almost every car in the field could win, and almost every car will try to lead a lap. Parker leads the first lap. Cummings now looking for the lead himself. Still looks like a pace lap, but we're now doing well over 200 miles an hour. Sheldrick's been dropped. We're starting to think about 3 wide. Doug Sparks going to put Mike Carroll 3 wide in the middle. Adam Beresford will lead the lap. Spark will lead a lap. That's bonus points for the Sparkman.
Member
Cars
joined.
getting trailed off the back. Welcome to
Hello,
Talladega.
sir. Welcome to Alabama.
Yes, the Bonanza race just started.
Well, we're about to throw more cars on the track.
Well, I wanted to run the Bonanza race an hour and a half ago, but I thought I had it all figured out to where I could run it live, but no, I couldn't run it live. But this race will take about an hour and a half. And I did my whole preamble about the untimely death following the Martinsville race of Joe Mersdorf in a traffic accident.
Thank you, sir. We need all the support we can get.
If I'm understanding the story correctly, his pickup truck was clipped by a school bus, rolled 15 times into a creek, and then was hit by a meteorite, right?
Get rid of the creek and the meteorite and the school bus. Who's on the pole, sir?
Philip Parker was the pole sitter. We are working lap number 6. And Jared Mogard is now your leader. So they're 4 wide in the middle of the pack.
You're at Talladega, right?
Correct. I did not realize. So was last week the off week for Bonanza? Not Bonanza, Extravaganza?
No, I couldn't perform my regular
Talladega
duties.
Talladega was supposed to be last week, and I couldn't run it because I got too busy and only had 1 day off. So
I had the same thing, essentially.
Like, I think I ran Martinsville a week earlier than you did, but Talladega will get synced up, and I'm supposed to be running a Phoenix IndyCar race today or tomorrow, and I don't know if that's happening because I haven't made high downforce cars yet.
Well, just take your time.
Or found a Phoenix that, like, is any good, so there's that. As Tommy Davis leads now, pack getting angry.
It'll all work out. I am impressed with the 2-time winner, Mr. Shimizu.
Yes, I'm wondering if he's going to attempt to sweep the season.
Yeah, I'm hoping he does. Now he's
Oh
winning.
no! Cars in the wall! Who was that? There's the pace car. Well, Aaron Cummings is in it, sliding down the banking. Yikes! Well, let's see what just happened there. So Aaron was middle of the back half of the pack, really? Like, just behind the midpoint in the pack. They're 4 wide. Uh-oh. Contact with Frank went back hard into the wall. Cruz in it. Parker in it. Baldinger's in it. Beresford. And then Aaron was nearly struck by Oscar Ortiz as he came to a rest. Because apparently Oscar doesn't know that what comes up must come down. Yep, Frank just squeezed him and put all the cars into the fence. Mark Guthrie just snuck through there.
Tough break.
Lots of damage for all of them. No cars left down, so there will be no free pass as Beresford works his way back to the pit lane.
Was Frank involved, or was he just the cause of it?
He went hard into the wall.
Champion points, championship on
Implications,
the line.
yeah. Well, he was second in points coming into this. Had a bad week at Martinsville. Picked himself up a penalty right at the end of the race. Beresford's done. Let's see. Tommy Davis is the leader.
Congratulations to Risi Competizione for their
Tony,
Daytona.
Tony, I haven't gotten to see the Long Beach race yet. You know that.
I'm talking about the 24-hour.
You mean from January?
You didn't tell me they won.
Tony, we were on TeamSpeak watching the race and talking about it. It's also,
I didn't even.
Also, it's pronounced Competizione.
Look, I'm getting better at it. Look, I'm learning Italian as we go along here, and we'll figure it out. But I'm very impressed that they won, because I didn't know they were actually like a competitive team.
They are when they don't get BOP'd to hell.
VOP'd?
Balance of performance, the whole thing that tries to keep all the cars even.
Oh. So they were better this time?
Well, so what had happened to them in the past, especially when if they like felt like they were getting the short end of the stick for the first few races, they would just go run somewhere else. They would go run like GT America or something and just not run IMSA. And then maybe show up for like Petite Le Mans and try to get an advantage as Kevin and Raybo have a little bit of contact coming out of the pits. But Kevin appears to have gotten out clean and he will be the leader.
Alright. Kevin made the... Well, Kevin and Doug Spark made the extravaganza race. So we got lots of CFM magic on the facility.
Facility. I'm trying to like do a thing with facility TTT and it's not working.
Dude, I tried to do it and got nothing, so don't feel too bad.
Okay, out of the race, Adam Beresford, David Baldinger, and Frank Womack. Frank will score 41st place points today. Your leader, under caution, as we work our final pace lap, Kevin Corbett.
What a great man.
What a nice cereal box. I was chatting with him a little bit on Telegram earlier.
Kevin?
No, a cereal box.
Oh.
Yes, Kevin. Yeah, last Thursday got interesting. I got to meet a reporter for our local news one of our local news affiliates, because we had all sorts of storm damage around here. We practically got tornadoed.
What did you say to him?
He just rolled up looking for information. It's like, oh yeah, it's this building over here. So I, chatted with him a little bit about what he was looking for and about the weather and what had come through, and that was it. I mean, I didn't get interviewed or anything. It's like, I'm not gonna just hang out and try to get on TV. I don't care that much. I've been on TV. I don't need to do it again. Oh, look, it's raining. It's raining.
You don't want to promote your brand?
Yeah, that's it. Pace cars in. It's time for Kevin to put down the loud pedal and make that Mustang purr. Wait, cats don't do... Well, cats do that. Horses do not. What does a happy horse do?
Eat oats.
No, it's what makes a horse happy. Door to door through 1 and 2. Here comes Tommy Davis. And Davis will pull out with the lead down the backstretch. Nigel Ramaswamy trying to get second, but he's going to get the door slammed on him. Or is Kevin? Nope, Kevin's going to slam this door shut. Cruz off the pace with that damage. Kevin door to door again. Now he's trying to take the lead back in 1 and 2. Big push coming from Nigel Ramaswamy. You see the big IndyCar news?
Joseph Newgarden.
Here comes Mike Carroll for the lead.
Going to NASCAR.
The entire Penske team got DQ'd from St. Pete.
Seriously?
Yes, apparently they had access to, and at least 2 of the drivers were using, push to pass on restarts before you're allowed to. Mike Carroll leads a lap. Did you hear the F1 news?
What happened in F1?
It sounds like Adrian Newey wants to leave Red Bull.
Who?
The guy who designs the cars. Let me put it this way. Tony, if you start naming off, like, famous teams that have won Constructors' Championships since the, like, mid-90s, Adrian Newey probably designed half the cars. Like, there are people that are convinced that if he went to, let's pick a team that's absolutely rubbish. If he was Rick Ware's car designer for their F1 entry, that they'd win a championship. Like, he's held that high in esteem. Doug Spark peeking out ahead. Will he lead at the line? So, yeah, that's kind of big news. And last I checked, I think Max's contract has an escape clause if Newey leaves that he can, you know, cut his contract short. And Spark did not lead at the line. It was Dave Daniels.
Is he going to a different team?
Unclear. His contract is through 2025, so unless they've breached contract and he can just get out of it, he probably won't be able to design a car until 2026. And even then, that'll be a car that either is slapped together at the last minute by him, or he'll have to wait for 27 to actually have a full say on a car at another team. So that could just be he's going to leave Red Bull and retire, because he's been at it a while.
Was he there with Vettel?
Yes.
Wow. I learned that David Coulthard was an original member of Red Bull.
Yes, David Coulthard's been on a lot of teams. Heck, he was involved in drama with Nigel Mansell back when Mansell was like at the end of his career.
Yeah.
Like he was all involved in that. I'm sure. Like, yeah. Like, people don't realize like how long some of these guys have been around. I don't think Aaron's car is that happy with all the crash damage either. He's getting tailed off here. Well, he's not alone back there getting tailed off. He's got Molitor Hill and Oscar Ortiz with him, and all three of them are being tailed off of the field. Oh, Dave Daniels has got a problem in the middle of the field, slowing dramatically. He's pulling down to the apron. Field's split open from that. I don't think he's making it back around. He's crawling now.
How many cars are
he's
on
not
the
making
lead
it
draft?
Most of the fields in the lead pack, it's 38 cars. We got 3 out and 3 clean off the back. And I believe we have a caution. Yes, no? Yes, no, the caution light, I couldn't tell if it was on or not. Certainly sounds like they're slowing down. Looks like it too. Yeah, caution is out. The 0 has ground to a halt. Not sure where the pace car is, but you know. There's the pace car coming down the middle of the back. So Patrick Kelgo leads. Dave Daniels, if he's, well, he's going to end up at least a lap down if he's not just clean out of the race. That was the points leader. So we could see a big shakeup on the points with the top 2 potentially finishing quite poorly. Let's see, will everybody pit here, or will we have anybody that stays out? Looks like everybody's coming in.
Gotta get that fuel mileage.
I mean, fuel mileage might come into play. I think it has the last couple times we've run here at Talladega. I really should start making the races like 5% longer, 5% shorter, just to try to take that out of it.
Saw the 1990 Daytona Duel, and Jeff Bodine won on fuel mileage.
That's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, Patrick Kelgo with trouble with Aaron plows into the back of Ken Joint in the pits while they were putting fuel in that car. Everybody looks to be okay, but the car is having to be pushed back, and it's all smashed to hell.
Tough break.
Ton of damage for Calgo. He'll definitely be coming back into the pits. Jackson Vatcher is the leader now. Slightly extended caution.
Let's go Dale Cooper.
Ken Joint has lost a lap from that pit road incident, and Dave Daniels is done for the day. And I believe Patrick Calgo may also be in the process of packing up. No, looks... no, I don't think that's him back there. Nope, that's PDJ Zeller back there.
Reese's Cup. Any notables that made the field?
Busch made the field.
In the 52 car?
Yeah.
Wow.
Been running pretty well, too. But this is the exact kind of track that, you know, just about anybody can run well. There were no wave rounds or free passes on that yellow because there's nobody a lap down still running. If he gets a yellow, though, Ken Joint can get a wave round. Pace car's in. Lawrence Van Buren made the field. Molitor Hill. Larry Sheldrick. Green, green, green. Vatcher did not really go. Guthrie looking to his outside at start finish. Field looking a little spread out on this restart. Yeah, Calgo's done, so we got 38 cars running, 37 on the lead lap. And Mark Guthrie's gone to the lead. And look at that, I was just talking about him. Up in the top 5, Ibushi's up here.
Let's go, Jogu.
Jogu Ibushi up to 3rd. Big push coming from Kevin. Now Kevin pops out, but Kevin has no help behind him. Big gap back to Painter. Kevin's got a stronger car, though. Is he going to stay there? Nope. Kevin pops out again, trying to get help from Mike Carroll. Gets it this time. He's going to try to go buy this 52 machine. Happy to finally see that one. I worked so hard on that scheme, only for it to be on a really slow car.
That's better than being on no car at all.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to do the work, I want to see the car. It's also one of my friend's favorite cars that I painted for the set, so...
What sponsor is it?
Hello Kitty!
Oh.
Have you not seen the 52 car?
Is it your friend Shadrick Spitman?
That is a driver that'll be in the series next season, isn't it?
No, don't do that. Dear God.
Chadwick Boseman will join the series. Battle for the lead. Mike Carroll looking for it, but Kevin not giving him any help. Kevin helping Guthrie. Now Guthrie kind of running the middle of the road. He's taking the help, but he doesn't want to pull Kevin clear either. Jack Painter lurking behind Mike Carroll. Jack Painter in a car I really didn't think we were going to see much of, which is why the sponsor is a meme.
Can't underestimate the great pack dude, sir.
Yes, well, it's a hell of a meme on that car. Guthrie's got a strong car. He keeps pulling the front off the field. Pack's really broken up on this restart. We got a group of, what am I going to call it? 26 cars off the front, and the 26 is just hanging on. Cruz Monsevis is 12 seconds off the back of the field. That car's clearly hurt. PDJ Zeller back there with Larry Sheldrick. And you got a second pack of 8 to 10 cars being led by Jim Fitzmaurice. Guthrie looking real strong. He's pulling Mike Carroll away from the field here. Looks like JB a few years ago in the duels. That lead pack getting stretched out. I gather you've had the big one? Nearer My God to Thee plays as Mark Huron comes up to second now.
No, we're good.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Holy shit!
That just sounds like the kind of reaction where I expect to pull up Twitch and just see a car flipping.
It was a car like 5 car lengths on the apron, but he got back up.
Uh-huh.
Still green.
So what you're saying is he got knocked down, but he got up again?
Yeah. Yeah, they let him back up.
Yeah, the lead of this pack is really trying to pull the whole field apart as Rainbow Womack tried to work their way up and then get shuffled. And Tommy Davis going to try to take second spot away. Nobody fighting Guthrie at the front of this field. They're just going to let him try to score the bonus points for leading the most, I guess. Did you see how they butchered the curbs at the inner loop?
At Watkins Glen.
Yes.
No, I completely missed that.
Oh, it's ugly. You know those like anti-cut curbs they have at Coda and the S's? Like the little, I don't know how to describe them. Like, they look like the fucking clip for a, like one of those book pack straps, is the best way I can describe it. That they put concrete inside the apex curb and then added those fucking monstrosities. They're just going to get somebody hurt.
What's wrong with it?
Well, adding those sorts of curbs, A, makes it actually easier to cut the corner, especially if you just straddle the curb, but if you don't straddle it right, you're going to launch a car into the air, which means you're going to get the front of the car up into the air into somebody's door.
So it gives people the invitation to gain time by attempting to go there.
And then sticking a curb in there that if you don't get it just right, is going to launch your car.
Okay. Yeah, there was nothing wrong with the little white curbs they had before. They were big white curbs, but like...
Well, they kept making the curves deeper and deeper, and what they need to do is make the curbs shallower, because the more curb you add, the more curb they take. Like, if you're going to have flat curbs there, they're going to take more and more. What they probably needed to do was take the curb that was already there and make that steeper, not add another steeper curb behind the flat curb. Like, I get part of the reason they add more curb is because cars cut inside the curb and dig a hole, and then you drag dirt onto the track. But there are solutions to that problem that aren't pave in that hole and make the curb bigger, and that's just what they've done. I mean, it's a... Their curbs are actually kind of similar to the ones they threw in there at Daytona, now that I think about it, through the chicane there. And they're not good curbs, and they're going to be really bad if anybody, like, hits them in something, you know, like a, I don't know, a GTP car? Or any sort of open-wheel car that's really stiffly sprung. I guarantee the Xfinity guys will just run them the fuck over. Kevin back up to second now. But still, nobody has anything for Guthrie. Cruz getting ready to get put down a lap as they catch him at a high rate of knots. He's going fast enough to know that he's not going to get pulled for minimum speed at this speed. But Guthrie's just going to drive straight to the back of him and not try to pass him at all and check the whole front of the field up. That's cool. That'll bring the field back together. Armstrong coming to the run on the outside because he didn't lift. Now Kevin's going to get boxed in as Guthrie tries to cover the track now.
I did not know that Foley's 3 is a Bill Davis 3.
You didn't know that?
Until just now. Oh!
And now he's dead. I'm pretty sure I told you that. Mike Carroll getting blocked by a lap car. Rainbow Womack up to second as the front of this field gets separated due to lap traffic. Quickly approaching the halfway point. More lap traffic ahead. Whole lead pack now taking up about half the back straightaway. There are big gaps in this group now. We'll see if they close up. Catching PDJ Zeller and Larry Sheldrick, who are not up to pace. And Guthrie catches them side by side and just checks up, and he'll stack the whole front of this field up again. could help some cars get back in the field as long as they're able to make a pass. Mike Carroll goes to the bottom. Gonna try to get 3 wide and get inside the lap cars. Doesn't get there. But Guthrie gets to the high side. Can he get around him? No, Mike Carroll shoves his way through, and we got cars diving to the pit road. They're splitting the lap cars now. Guthrie holds the lead, but I don't think he'll have it the next time around. He's got stuck on the high side with cars on the inside, pushing past. Tommy Davis looking for the lead. But he and Mike Carroll are going to be coming to the pits here. Whoops, that's not a car I want to look at. So Guthrie's going to keep the lead here, but not a lot of cars staying out with him. And I think Mark made a mistake here by not pitting. He's not really in a draft at the moment. He's waiting for cars to come to him. He's got a couple merging ahead of him, and he's got Brian Lowe like 5 car lengths back. And the whole pack starting to close on him. Will he be coming in this time? Looks that way. Raybo Womack's going to stay out, and so's Doug Spark. So at least one of the Womacks will lead a lap today. It's nice to see green flag pit stops in a Talladega race, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looks like Womack's coming in. It looks like Spark's coming in. Well, we already had our had a decent crash, and then a yellow for a stopped car, so. Problem with a long green flag run is it breaks up the field, and then the race sometimes isn't as exciting after the pit stops, so we'll see what happens here. Last few on pit road, we'll see how this cycles out. I think the leader is going to be Tommy Davis here, with Mike Carroll right on his bumper. Oh yeah, field's good and broken up by that. And Mike's going to actually try to get the lead here and just slow them both up and let everybody catch him.
My favorite driver, Mike Carroll.
But who's your favorite ice cream?
Strawberry cheesecake.
Disgusting.
Flicks and chill.
Mike Carroll leads. And a kind of small lead group here of 6 cars.
Spam flavor.
Ugh.
With Mike Carroll on the cover.
Uh-huh. The cover. The cover of your ice cream now.
Yeah.
Right. So the lead group is Mike Carroll, David Courtney, Tommy Davis, Mark Guthrie, Broderick Whitman, Jack Painter, and the lap car of Jim Fitzmaurice. We'll see if Fitzmaurice stays with him. We have a second pack 2 seconds back of Brian Lowe, Jim Gunk, Ronaldo Scott, and Adriano Forporti. A trio of cars behind them, Raybo Womack, Nigel Ramaswamy, and Doug Spark, about to be caught by a large field led by Ibushi. That field being about 7 seconds off the lead as Guthrie goes back to the lead. Yeah, that trio's gonna get caught, like, before start-finish this lap.
Let's go, Frapperty.
I don't think a 4-car pack's gonna catch the lead pack being led by a fairly strong car.
Mike.
Mark Guthrie.
Oh.
Somebody needs to wreck that car. That's clearly the only way they're gonna beat him. 69 staying with the group, though.
Well, there's your answer.
What? Oh, who's gonna wreck him?
Yeah.
You saying I should go in and just put Fitzmaurice's aggression at 100-100 and just see what happens?
Dude, I'll never forget Jim Fitzmaurice at BBP yelling at everyone.
For what?
I don't remember. I think Zach was there, and then I don't know. Something happened, and he said something, and then Jim said something, and I don't know. Not good. Good for me, because I thought it was funny.
Yes. I'm trying to remember, who was it that Glenn went off on that one time?
You?
I don't think he ever, like, I think he got upset about something, but I don't think he was, I think the thing he was upset about was the April Fool's joke that he didn't realize was a joke. I know Craig was pissy about that too. I don't want, you know, Craig, that was an April Fool's joke, right? It was in the article.
He called me a whiner once.
Could be worse.
Yeah. If I wasn't a whiner, I would have been mad. But I was, so, like, he was right.
You were a whiner or you were mad?
I was a whiner.
And then, of course, who can forget the times that JB was squeaky? Oh, we got a battle for the lead. Tommy Davis trying to take it.
Oh, the what the fuck was that? The Craig Lee moment.
Oh, did you ever run Delta Sim with us?
Did he?
No, you.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. You remember Lego? What was it? Lego Lover, the human blue shell.
You guys put more emphasis on Lego Lover than I did. I was just there to like.
He was
race.
honestly just the one who had the memorable name. There was like 4 or 5 of them that were always similar pace and similar holding alignedness.
Like he wouldn't hold a line, or what?
Oh yeah, like they could use all 4 lanes down the back straightaway at Charlotte on a pace lap.
What's wrong with that?
Well, it got pretty bad, but it was really funny how quickly I could pass him on a restart as Mike Carroll goes to the lead. Like there were some of the guys that just started not like they would get to where they could make it on fuel and then not pit, so they didn't have to pass those guys anymore. I was like, no, I'm gonna take fresh tires every time because I'm gonna be past these guys by turn 1, and I was usually right.
No, I remember being afraid to pass people.
Meanwhile, I'm timing my restarts and blowing by the guys that are restarting in 3rd gear.
Yeah, but they'd like swerve left and right, and when you went into turn 1, you didn't know if they were gonna wreck.
Yeah,
so.
that's why I wanted to be past them by like start finish even, and usually I was. I got pretty good at that.
I didn't trust them on the restart either.
And then there was that Bridgehampton race with the virtual safety car.
Love that race until I wrecked.
Yeah, I think Alex won that race, didn't he?
I think so. It was either him or Ziggy or Trey.
I I don't think it was Ziggy or Trix. I think I beat both of them.
Well, that doesn't mean they...
I think it's a race. If I'd realized that that was a virtual safety car and that did not need to slow down when I took that yellow, I probably would have won that, but I gave up a whole gap in that first yellow by slowing up thinking the safety car was like a half a lap ahead, not that I was still trying to catch it.
Dude, that safety car was faster than the freaking race pace.
Yeah, it was doing like 160. Well, Guthrie back to the lead. Second, third, and fourth pack have congealed into one group that is 7 seconds back. But they be fighting each other, and the leaders be in a straight line.
Mr. Congeniality.
And then there were the various times that Zach got mad at Ziggy because Ziggy raced him probably harder than he should have.
Did Zach run that?
Yes.
I think he ran it
until he got fed up with Ziggy.
I think I took his place. Like Zach stopped and I started around the same time.
Yeah, I definitely got an impression that like the regular crowd at Delta Sim was not really happy when we came in and started winning everything.
And then the guys that were just there for fun stuck around and were cool with it.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like, honestly, the person I enjoyed racing there the most is probably No Limit Phil, because like he would make mistakes and sometimes was a bit aggressive, but like if he did you wrong, he let you have one later.
Oh, that's a good attitude.
And he was fun to race with. I'm trying to remember, what was it? Was it Texas World that I and Alex were having a race, and I think both he and I fucking threw that race away and let Alex win it? Like, neither one of us got to the pits right.
I think that was the last race we did.
Yeah, I think there were a few after that. Oh, we're catching the 56 again. But with a single file lead group, I don't know that he'll slow him up too badly. Second pack losing time. They're now 8 seconds back. Be 30 to go at the line.
I think Steven Spears had more fun at Delta Sim than anyone.
I think it was fun. I enjoyed that kind of thing. It was the bullshit fixed setups we occasionally ran that were really kind of annoying. And Jim Fitzmaurice will pit. And Mike Carroll takes the lead. Like, I wish they'd run a couple more mods, so I was really hoping I could get them to run that, you know, the older late model mod that you could run, like, you know, 80s sportsman stuff with. But they apparently weren't on about that. No, what was their rule, that it had to be 30 years old?
That was for the old series?
Yeah, for Delta Sim.
It's almost the Gen 4 now.
Yeah, I'm waiting to be able to go back, run a few races, and when they're looking for what to run next season, I'm like, how about we run the N4 body? And then whip out some old N4 cars on their asses.
Yeah, I'm sure they're still racing.
Who knows what they'll be doing. I mean, I think they are still racing occasionally there. I see them post every now and then over on the subreddit.
I think Hobo Racing's the only one that still has a lot of people.
Yeah. I'd like to run 2003 just because it was so plug and play for me, but it was never as much fun as N4. Like, N4 had its problems, but it was very just kind of show up and have fun at most of the racetracks.
I think the 3Y Super Air helped a lot. Like 2003, you have no air to work with at all.
Well, also, like, you run Talladega in Sim in N4 or 2003, and it's nowhere near as much fun as it is in arcade, because you just don't... You had the rev limiter, the draft doesn't work the same way. Arcade super speedways in N4 and 2003 are just more fun.
Yeah. Well, 2003, I never really cared for super speedway racing.
Well, that's because you were probably usually running it in Sim, where the only one in Sim that's all that fun is the truck.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I didn't like the truck very much.
No, I'm not a huge fan of running
I
CTS
like it
physics.
at, like, Toledo, you know.
I'm not a huge fan of running CTS physics mods. That's sort of the thing, is I'd rather run GNS or Cup physics, but... I don't know. I'd love to find something that's just sort of that high level of enjoyment that I got out of that N4 shit. Like, some people didn't like Atlanta and Texas and N4. I even enjoyed those, but like Talladega, Daytona, Michigan, California, Indy, Ontario, Pocono, those were great tracks to run arcade and N4.
Name what you name in again.
Daytona, Talladega, Michigan, California, Indy, Ontario. Jesus, who's calling me? I gotta take this.
Darth Vader.
Unless for some reason we get tired of it early or something. Alright, we'll figure it out for that part of the end. Alright, sounds good. Alright, bye. Alright, I'm back. We're under caution. I'll figure out why we're under caution and then get us right back where we are. Split strategy on pit stops with about 30 to go. Oh, the 24 car blew motor. That's what brought out the caution. All right. I think Mike
Stephen Lowe.
Yeah, Stephen Lowe blew a motor. So split strategy, some people pitted the first time by and some people pitted the second time by. Mike Carroll pitted the second time by. Because we are really close to making it on fuel, I guess. Brian Lowe is the leader. Kevin Corbett in second. I don't know that anybody actually can make it. And Stephen Lowe had just gotten lapped, so I don't think we got a wave around. Kevin's going to pit as we come to green. That's a choice. I guess he is counting on this not making it to the end.
Well, he's just practicing for the 500.
Yes, that's it. That's why he's pitting when he needs some points here. It's going to be 31 to go at the green. And Brian Lowe leads him away.
I agree with you for Ontario, Indy, Pocono.
You didn't like Michigan?
Daytona. It's too big.
I think Michigan was fun. Michigan and California were similar, but like California, you had a little bit more setup going with it, whereas Michigan, there was a bigger box depending on what the wind was. But like we could go 3 wide around Michigan quite easily. Like you got enough corner to kind of try different lines. You couldn't bottom feed it, not like the 1.5 miles. So I enjoyed Michigan, as Brian Lowe I think is coming to the pits. He sure is.
Turn 3 had a very sharp entry, and it was hard to hold it down. But other than that, I had no problem.
I think it was good. I'm trying to think what other and you know, a number of the tracks I built were fun. People seem to enjoy HRJ Sparta and the smaller Zen Joltis.
Dude, that's the best track you ever made.
I'm trying to think what else was a lot of fun. I'm trying to think. Ooh, the field really got broken up. I feel like there was a 1.5 miles that wasn't a bottom feed 1.5 miles besides Sparta. And I'm not thinking of Trenton either. Doug Spark coming out of the pits from the looks of it. I'm trying to think, what 1.5 miles am I forgetting? I never liked Charlotte in N4. It never... I never found a setup there that didn't bottom out randomly somewhere in a run, and it just never raced as well as the other 1.5 miles.
Charlotte was probably my favorite.
Banked Vegas wasn't bad, and then Banked Homestead was fun, because it was not accurate at all.
Dude, Banked Homestead was immaculate. Well, turn 1 and 2, if I remember...
It was banked more than the real track, but like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 weren't the same.
No. Well, in real life, they're not the same either, but...
Darlington was kind of fun. But
it was so hard to pass people.
It was
had to have balls.
Yeah, it was a setup to pass kind of thing, that you would set somebody up to pass, but like you could really be defensive at Darlington, whereas like at other tracks people just get a run on you, there was not a whole lot you could do. At Darlington you could really you could fend somebody off.
But you took a chance doing that too.
Yes, well, you know, being aggressive with the defense and attack are always opportunities to have an issue. Dover I didn't super like. It was fun to get a lap nailed down. Same with kind of Bristol. That was fun when you got a lap that was good. But sometimes it just didn't, I'm trying to think how to phrase this. Like, you couldn't really race around people on this. There wasn't a lot of room to race.
There was room to race, but the bottom line was so dominant. Like, you just had to give way if you were on the top. Plus, if you were slow, it's not a fun track to be slow at.
Yeah, it was better than being slow at Martinsville, though. Because slow at Martinsville, you just run the whole line.
Everywhere, now that I think about it.
Oh, there's that. I'm trying to think what some of the other speedways were. Like, I enjoyed the bottom feed speedways because they kind of became a chess match and figuring out what you could do. And if they went green for a while, then it came down to, you know, getting a good pit stop. Banked Indy was fun. We had a lot of, like, absolute dead heat finishes there.
Banked Indy had the same kind of draft that News and Joltis had. You can go on the top and it would work, and just, it was fun. I liked it.
BBP had goofy draft that was not very much fun. Like, you couldn't lift and let somebody in or you both lost the draft, and I didn't like that. TOC was okay, but the lack of usable apron there kind of sucked. Because it made merging a real nightmare. I'm trying to think what were some of the other, like, staple N4 tracks.
Flat Homestead.
I mean, that one was fun, but I just wasn't as fast as it as the tricycle wonder that was your setup.
God, nobody put Homestead on the schedule anymore after that.
I mean, I think I still did a couple of times because it was nice to have a track that was something different. Like, I didn't like to only run speedways because we had a series for that. I'm still blown away that the track I put on the schedule as a fuck you to everybody that complained about Silverstone became a popular track.
No, Rouen.
Silverstone was the track that was so easy. Rouen was the fuck you. And everybody seemed to like it for some reason.
Yeah, it had ramps on it.
I mean, if I'd realized people were going to like tracks like that, I would have put more of those style tracks on sooner. We would have run that really early on. We'd have run Zandvoort, you know, we would have done all that shit. We would have probably run all the GPL tracks for points except Monaco. I know there's a track that was a lot of fun that we always had good races at that I'm not remembering. I remember your miracle fuel mileage in IRP.
That was a good day.
I think we ran Memphis like once and went, yeah, that wasn't all that different from Richmond and wasn't as much fun. It was fun to actually get it on a schedule, but it didn't become a staple. I think we ran Milwaukee occasionally, but it was a lot like Homestead, where you pulled out a tricycle setup and whooped the field.
No, it only worked at Homestead.
New Hampshire was kind of fun in N4, but not my favorite track. But that was New Hampshire before they made it progressively banked, so it was kind of a different animal. There were times where I had a good setup at Rockingham and would have fun, and there were other times where it wasn't fun. But like Rockingham and Darlington were the two places in arcade where tire wear really mattered. It was something I always thought about adding into some of the tracks. Like, could you imagine if I took Atlanta and gave it like late Atlanta tire wear, where you couldn't hold the bottom after like 10 laps? That probably would have been a lot of fun. Right up until Craig blows a tire and complains.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
I'm sure
Just to get them off the bottom.
I'm sure I could have tinkered with that to get it to where the tire... Well, actually, there were settings. I could get it so that the rate of wear, like how much percentage of tire was the same, but the fall off was higher, was a whole line you could put in there, so I could have done that. I always wanted to do silly stuff, too. Like, for, what was it, Zach had? The Wiggles shit that we did, like, once since he came back here. To do a race where the tires gained grip as they wear, because you can set that in the INI, and I'm pretty sure it works. So that your goal is to get your tires as worn as possible, but if they blow, obviously you're in a bad problem there. Let's see, tracks that apparently only I liked on paper, Pizarro Park.
I think Craig liked it even after he hit the wall.
There were a few people like, oh, that's different, it's fun. But I designed it to be a track that, like, this is the kind of track Tony does well at, he'll love this, and then you hated it.
I don't like flat
tracks.
Too.
Caution. Yes, I figured that out. I believe this might have been for debris, because I haven't seen anything. But it did just keep Kevin from getting lapped. Because Kevin had come out of the pits, and it got Brian Lowe and Doug Spark back on the lead lap. Yeah, I don't see anything, so I guess it's a debris yellow. And Ibushi is in second again. It looks like just about everybody's going to pit here. Yep, the entire field comes in. So we've got 36 cars running. 32 will be on the lead lap when we get the restart. And everybody came in, so the weird pit strategy from everybody else on the last yellow and on the restart makes no sense here. Mark Huron's going to be the leader. We're inside 20 to go. Pace car is in. 3 lap cars on the inside. Sheldrick, Cruz Monsevis, and PDJ Zeller. Everybody else on the lead lap. Jim Fitzmaurice apparently has called it a day, I think. He's 4 laps down and not in the queue, so I think the 69 car's done for the day. Trying to form a 4-car breakaway to the lap cars here off the front of the field. And it's starting to work. The lead 4 kind of pulling Sheldrick along, keeping people in contention here.
I'm gonna put my pizza in the oven. I'll be back.
Pizza in the oven, yeah! Oven pizza, pizza time! Here comes Jack Painter on the bottom, trying to move forward. They're going to try to pass Ken Joint. I don't know if that 33 is as strong as it was before the damage. And Guthrie trying to pull the field apart here. Thatcher and Harding have caught the lead breakaway. Oh yeah, we got a line of cars on the bottom. They're all pulling up on the leaders here. This pack's going to come back together here. Three wide. 4 second. Harding coming forward. Here comes Mark Guthrie charging back to the front. He gets to the inside of Harding, pushes Stefan up the track. Guthrie to the lead. Field's starting to get angry. More cars slowly joining this fray. There's a few that have gone off the back of the whole field entirely. Nobody that was really in contention. Coming up on 10 to go. Tommy Davis looking for the lead. And he had it that time at the line. Here I'm going to try to push him clear. It's going to be 10 to go at the line. Guthrie just looks so strong. I don't know that anybody's got anything for him. He keeps going right back to the lead every time he loses it. And Davis has a problem. That car's slowing onto the apron. Tommy Davis with an issue late in the race. Will that bring out a caution? Or will they let him race since we're so close to the end here to avoid a late race restart? Kevin filtering forward. Kevin moving up to second. Raybo Womack looking for the inside on him. I think he's going to put Kevin in the middle here. Almost. Kevin keeps his car just ahead. Field's dwindled a little bit, but not badly. All the strong cars are here. Womack keeps popping out. Are we going to see a second Womack in victory lane? Here comes Stefan Harding. Kevin fading back a little bit. Doug Spark charging forward now. Womack up to the lead, or what can he do with it? Ramaswamy has a little feint there, but has no move coming. Did make it back into the pits. 46 trying to charge again. Running out of laps. Doug Spark coming forward now, too. Will these two work together? And does everybody have enough fuel? Question we haven't really been asking. And does anybody have anything for this 37 anyway? Got some popping to the inside, looking for a move down the back. Mogard and Spark going forward. And Spark coming to the pit lane. Spark doesn't have enough fuel. So there's that question answered. Some guys don't have enough fuel. That's broken the field up a bit here. Raybo and Guthrie have stretched away. But everybody else is going to come with a run on them. They're not that far off of them. You can hear the sound difference between these cars in the front and the back of this group. Higher RPM coming behind them. This pack's coming. Anybody else going to pit here right at the end? Here come Mogard and Carroll trying to get there. They don't get to the inside. Mogard gets shuffled high. Spark rejoining the fray. Will he be any assistance to Kevin here as he gets lapped? Ooh, 22 on the apron. 22's coming to the pits. Ron Stout doesn't have enough. Few more takers. Raybo's coming in. And Doug Spark's going to check him up here. I think he's playing for his teammate now. And wants to be ahead. If the yellow comes out, it's not going to matter. We ain't going to get a restart. Here comes Kevin now. Moving up to second. Guthrie still seems to be the class of the field. Lap cars looming ahead. It's going to be the white flag at the line here. And Mogard comes to the pits, as does Joint. More cars running out of fuel. Kevin now in a one-on-one duel with Mike Carroll. Not Mike Carroll, Mark Guthrie. White flag. One more lap. Kevin jumps to the inside into turn one. Lap cars looming ahead. Side by side, Kevin edging ahead. Here comes Bernard Person behind him. Is the 90 going to have a run for him? Or is the 90 going to take a run on him? Here comes Stefan Harding all the way to the bottom. Lap cars still getting closed in on. Lap cars are going to go side by side. They're going to get a tow off these lap cars, but are they going to interfere with the finish? Kevin sits in the middle of the track, catching the lap cars. They're going to check up a little bit. Whoops. Kevin comes to the bottom. No run coming from behind. They're all penned in. Harding moves up to second. Carroll getting shuffled. Kevin
back.
Corbett wins at Talladega. Woo!
How many laps to go?
That was the checkered flag. Kevin Corbett wins. Stefan Harding second. Broderick Whitman third. Bernard Person fourth. Scott Drake in fifth. Jogu Ibushi in sixth. Mark Guthrie gets shafted by lap cars, ends up 7th. Mike Carroll 8th. Ramondre Diggs in 9th. 10th goes to Brian Lowe. 11th JT Armstrong. 12th Ronaldo Scott. Nigel Ramaswamy 13th. 14th goes to Jackson Batcher. 15th to David Courtney. Oscar Ortiz ends up 16th. 17th goes to Jim Gunk. Then we have Dwight York, Tony Tonto Jr., Molitor Hill, Aaron Cummings, Lawrence Van Buren, Jared Mogard, Ken Joint, Raybo Womack, Mark Huron, Adriano Fraporti, Ron Stout, Jack Painter, Doug Sparkins up a lap down, Larry Sheldrick, PDJ Zeller, Brandon Cruz Monseves, and then out of the race. Yeah.
What positions are these?
These are in order. You're in the 30s now.
All right.
34th out of the race, at least I'm pretty sure he did not continue, was Tommy Davis. Philip Parker dropped out. Jim Fitzmaurice out of the race. Stephen Lowe out. Stephen Davis out. Patrick Cowgill out. Dave Daniels in 40th. 41st belongs to his championship rival of Frank Womack. David Baldinger 42nd, and last in 43rd is Adam Beresford. Let's see what that do to our points. And next week we go to the Lady in Black.
Oh no.
At least I think that's next week. Certainly
What?
the next race.
When's your next non-companion race?
I don't know. I don't know what your schedule is offhand. Are you running Kansas after Darlington?
Yeah.
After Kansas, do you go Beep? Do you go to Lime Rock?
No.
Okay, there you go.
I wish we went to Lime Rock.
There's a non-companion race.
A track that's still good, but not as good. Love Lime Rock Park.
Yeah, that's your Sonoma week, isn't it?
No, it's I think I got rid of a Michigan and it replaced Michigan.
No. I'm talking about the week I'm at Lime Rock with the Bonanza is your Sonoma week, I think.
I don't think so. I could be wrong though.
I thought I had it on a week of a road course, but it wouldn't make sense to have both series at Lime Rock because they don't have the facilities for that.
Yeah, they do.
Lime Rock could not support that. First off, we'll just start there.
I'll make sure they can.
After
Hell,
10
we
events,
built the guardrail there. We can build
Dave
garage
Daniels
stalls.
still leads over Frank Womack. Mark Guthrie is third. Mark Huron is fourth. Mike Carroll moves up to fifth. Patrick Cowgill down to sixth. Aaron Cummings moved up to seventh, and Beresford dropped 2 spots. Roderick Whitman climbs 3 spots to ninth. Ronaldo Scott up 3 to 10th. Raybo Womack lost 2 spots. Ken Joint lost the spot. Doug Spark drops 3. Kevin up 8 spots with the win into the top 20 again.
Oh my.
Jackson Vatcher is 15th, up 2. Scott Drake picks up 4 to 16th. Philip Parker has dropped 3 spots. Mondre Diggs up 3 spots into the top 20. Nigel Ramaswamy drops 1. Brandon Cruz Monseves drops 5 on the verge of losing the top 20. Stephen Lowe lost top 20, as did Ron Stout. Other big movers, David Courtney up 2. Bernard Person picked up 5 spots, now 27th in points. Stefan Harding's up to 35th. Jim Gunk up to 44th.
Ooh, not good for that team.
Busch up 9 spots, now matching his car number in 52nd.
Nice.
No other big movers. Only 62 cars on the point sheet. I think there are 71 that have been attempting this season.